Hello, my name is Zathriel and I'm a reptile enthusiast. Today I'm going to talk to you about the carpet python. The specific subspecies that we will be looking at is Morelia spilota chenei. That is also known as the jungle carpet python. This is my subadult male. He will grow to be about between 7 feet, between 7.5 feet, somewhere along there, while females generally get a lot larger. Uh, there are some females that have been caught in the wild that have been up to 9 feet and about that big around. They do get very large. Um, One thing that prevents a lot of people from getting these is the fact that people believe that they have a very negative disposition. Uh, they can be very defensive reptiles, and that's partially due to the fact that they're preyed on in the wild by a lot of different other animals. That doesn't mean that they are aggressive. It just means that they're a little bit more defensive and need to be worked with a little more. As you can see, this guy is very, very calm on my hand. Um, Not aggressive, not nippy. I haven't been bit by him once, though a friend of mine has. Uh, Still, uh, they're not dangerous reptiles. As long as you handle them while they're hatchlings and you get them accustomed to your presence and to your handling, they will do just fine. Um, in the wild, these guys are bird eaters. They are semi-arboreal. They do love to eat birds, and some species, such as the coastal carpet pythons, will even wait at the mouth of caves for bats to fly by and catch them. That's because they do have very evolved heat pits. Um, they not only have four separate heat pits on their snout, but they also have them along the bottom jaw. This helps them to see not only what's in front of them and what is above them, but to also see what is below them. That way that they not only are able to help catch prey, but also avoid predators. They can see a goanna down below them or some other predator and think, okay, well, this guy is directly below me and he can get up the tree that I'm on, so I need to shoot up higher into the canopy. Um, because these are semi-arboreal species, they're not like corn snakes. You can't make a guess on their gender based on the length of their tail because males and females have about the same length of tail. Um, the only way to really sex these guys is to pop their hemipenes whenever they're younger or to get them probed whenever they're adults. This is a confirmed male. I have seen his sperm plugs and his hemipenes, which is something that I don't really want to talk about. But anyway, they are a very, very beautiful species. Well, subspecies. Um, the other subspecies of carpets, I'm not saying that they aren't beautiful, but they don't turn this really electric yellow like these guys do. Another thing about these guys is they do get prettier as they get older. They look really dull whenever they're hatchlings and juveniles, but as they get older, they get really, really yellow. They develop more yellow pigment. Um, Such as with green tree pythons, how green tree pythons, whenever they're hatchlings, they're more of a yellowish and a reddish color, and as they get older and get into adulthood and adolescence, they do turn a greener color. That's to help protect them from predators during different phases of their life because they inhabit different levels of the canopies throughout different phases, and so they need different types of camouflage. Um, these guys are in the same family as the green tree pythons. Um, there are 7 different subspecies of these pythons. I can't name them off of the top of my head, but I'll try. There is the Irian carpet pythons, the diamond carpet pythons, jungle carpet pythons, inland carpet pythons, coastal carpet pythons, Um, I believe the Darwin's carpet python. I think that's one of them, and the last one I'm not sure. I can't name them all, but I think Wikipedia could help you out if you want to know all of them. What else? Oh, not only do they have heat pits, but also like most predatory reptiles, they do have the Jacobson's organ, which is a lot of people ask and wonder why they flick out their tongues. Um, and yeah, they do normally guess, okay, it is because they're tasting. But it's not only the tasting, it's the actual scent particles that they're throwing into the Jacobson's organ every time it returns into their mouth that gives them all sorts of different information. It gives them the age of the scent, how long ago the animal was there. It can help them uh, identify familiar scents that they've come across, such as rodents and birds, and distinguish those scents from the ambient environment. Um, it can give a lot of different information. Monitors can actually track the direction of travel that their prey is going. I'm not so sure about these guys. I'm sure that the Jacobson's organ with snakes works in the same way as monitors. Um, as far as keeping these guys goes, you want a boreal cage. Um, that doesn't mean that they can't live in a terrestrial cage, but they do thrive in arboreal cages because, like most arboreal and semi-arboreal reptiles, they are very active. These guys are also nocturnal, so they're more active at night. That's one thing that I really, really love about arboreal and semi-arboreal snakes is how active they are and how they don't just, lay around. They love to move. They love to look for a higher place to go. They like to climb on the things. They're very, very active snakes. Um, like I said, you want an arboreal cage. You want a cage that is higher than it is tall. Um, I mean, higher than it is wide, my bad. Uh, humidity is very debatable. A lot of people say you want about 80 to 85% humidity, but I would suggest between 60 and 70% humidity. That way, that you can avoid the development of mold and bacteria, and it helps stopping them from getting respiratory infections, which is very, very common in this species. So a lot of these species do get respiratory infections due to heat and humidity and the development of bacteria. So uh, you don't want to go too low in humidity. They don't thrive in arid environments because they live up to their name. They are a jungle carpet python. They're native to the rainforest of Queensland, Australia. So you do want them to have a fair amount of humidity, but you don't want them to be saturated. You don't want everything to be wet and moist constantly in their enclosure, or else you'll start getting problems with bacteria. They'll start getting respiratory infections, and once a respiratory infection uh, develops far enough, the only thing that you can do is just load them up with Baytril, and that's all you can do. And you don't want to do that. It's very expensive. Um, uh, heating, uh, they do need a basking area. Even though they're nocturnal, they do sometimes like to bask, even though it's on rare occasions. You want the basking area to be about 95 degrees. You don't want it scorching, but you want it to be enough to where they can get some full spectrum lighting and get UVB, because all reptiles need UVB, or else you start getting bone problems, which you definitely don't want. Um, Also, uh, they need a hide. These guys do do need some place that they can retreat to, or else they'll get very stressed out. Um, I forgot to mention the ambient temperature. The ambient temperature of the cage needs to be uh, between, I'd go between 75 and 85 degrees. Um, but yeah, about hides. These guys do need hides. They do need a place that they can retreat and feel comfortable, or else they'll get stressed. And if they're stressed, they are more prone to bite. Um, their bites can be pretty nasty. They do have very large teeth. Uh, but as far as putting you in the hospital, I wouldn't go there. They're snakes. Their jaws aren't that powerful, and they're non-venomous. Um, yeah, if you are interested in getting these guys, um, I would definitely go for it. They are very, very rewarding reptiles, and very, very active, and they make a wonderful display animal due to their patterns and colors. There's also, like I said, there's 7 different subspecies, and also there's even a lot of different morphs and a lot of different crosses. You can find some breeders that have uh, jungle carpet pythons that have about 25% diamond carpet python in them, and there's so many different variations on color, and some colors may be more intense than others. Some patterns may be maybe more bold, or uh, that it's just so many different possibilities with these guys, and every single animal is unique. That's another thing about them, is every single pattern is unique. Like this guy, for instance, if you look right here, he has a spot on his back. All of this is banded, but he just has this one little standalone spot, and it makes him unique. He also has the black lips where his pits are. Like I said, they've got pits on their bottom lip, and they have 4 pits on their snout. Um, Also, this guy, unlike most jungle carpets, this guy doesn't have a white belly. He does up here, but for the most part, his belly is black, which is also very interesting. Uh, I haven't named him yet, but I am searching for a name. I don't rush straight into names. I take a while to think about them. But yeah, if you have any more questions that I haven't answered in this video, or if there's anything else that you want to know, please leave it down in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Um, I have so many things to say about these guys, and so many interesting and cool facts to share, and it's all running through my head, and I just start talking, and yeah, you see. Well, take care, and if you're interested in getting these guys, then you should definitely go for it and do some research on the husbandry, on their care, about their temperament. And the only thing that I really have to say about their temperament is it's like with all animals. It all depends on the owner and how you treat these animals. Um, Ball pythons are like the Labradors of the pythons. Generally they're very, very good. They're very good for children. Uh, the only thing that really puts people off whenever it comes to owning these reptiles is the fact that everyone says, that they're very bitey and very aggressive, like the same thing that people say with Nile monitors. Um, However, it all depends on the handler and the person that is having these guys. One tip for taming them is, if you do get them as a hatchling, don't be put off by them striking. Just because they strike, don't recoil your hand and make a big deal out of it. Um, or else they're going to learn that, okay, that works. If I want to get him to leave me alone, the best way to do it is to bite him. And in order to break that behavior, just ignore it. Just keep reaching in there, hold him for about 30 minutes. Even though he can be nipping at you and leaving little marks on your skin, uh, give him about 30 minutes, put him back in his cage, come back after a few hours and try again. gets them used to who you are, and it gets them used to your presence. Um, anyway, like I said, if you have any you have any questions or anything that I haven't answered in this video, please leave some comments and I'll get to them and answer your questions. Other than that, have an excellent day.